Hi, this is LJ Bothell from Microsoft Outlook 2013, and I just want to show you a little bit more about the Microsoft Outlook options for kind of personalizing the program for yourself. So what I'm going to do is right now you can see that I'm in the email folder and view pane, and what I'm going to do is go to the File tab and go down to Options. And in options, we've taken a look at other demos briefly at like the mail Outlook options, and there are similar ones for calendar and people or contacts and for tasks. So you can go ahead and personalize these as much as you would like. What I wanted to do is take a look at a couple of other things. I tend to leave the search option to the default, and your book will give you some information on alternatives you can go in and do here. But this helps you so that you can search through emails and events and such to find things. Language, I'm also leaving to default because this class is being taught in United States English. However, if you speak another language as your primary language, you can import other dictionaries and work with those. What I'm interested in a couple things here: the advanced, the customized ribbon, and the quick access toolbar. So let's take a quick look at advanced. Now there's several different things you could do in here, and I believe I looked at a couple of them in another demo, but I'm just going to go through here a little bit again. Customize Outlook panes. When we've been in our email or our calendar, there are panes for how you could view your information. This gives you a chance to set a few things up to be defaults for yourself, just to make life easier. So I'm going to click at the navigation options. Right now we're using compact navigation. As you can see down here, here's a little bit of compact navigation, and things are being displayed in the order of mail, calendar, people, tasks, notes, folders, and shortcuts. Now you may be a person who uses your mail and your calendar and your tasks more frequently, so in here you could set it to move your tasks up to be the third thing you see, and then your contacts would be the fourth thing you would see, and if your a pane is a little bit narrow, you'll just see three dots. So I'm going to hit OK. And I don't know, oh, look what happens when I move over here. Now I have my email, I have my calendar, and I have my tasks. And then if I click the three dots when I'm in that area, I can then go find my contacts. A lot of times people just sort of use their contacts for one shot to get in their new contacts and to add people a little bit as needed, but otherwise they do all their work through their email, and they often, as they get an email from someone, will right click on that person's email address and add them to the contacts that way. So this is something you can do. What else can I do? The reading pane. The reading pane has to do with when you're reading a message, for instance, after you've seen a preview of it. And we looked at this briefly in the email demos to indicate that if an item has been in the reading pane for a few seconds, you can have it so that it then will dim out just enough to note that it's been read, instead of appearing in your preview of all your emails and looking like it's never been read, even when you know that you have. So right now I have mine as mark items as read when viewed in the reading pane for 3 seconds. So I'm going to leave that one alone. I usually leave this all alone because this information will usually be set up either by the program when it's connecting to an internet email like Gmail, or it will be connected through the Exchange server at a company, and you'd have to talk to your tech department there. But the one thing I do like to do is empty my deleted item folders when exiting Outlook. This helps me keep my folder not full of stuff. So if I get spam and it goes into the Outlook folder, if I get some messages I don't want anymore. The thing is, if you choose to do this, you would want to be careful about what you delete. You might want to use rules in your email inbox to set up where certain emails can go and live until you can spend more time with them, instead of just automatically deleting things. But for everything you do delete, this will automatically delete every time you close Outlook, and that will keep your inbox and your Outlook space on the server a little bit more condensed, compact, and easy to manage. Now, I'm not going to mess with the auto archive settings here. Your book will tell you a little something about it, but this is something that you'll want to follow the rules with on when you're with a specific employer, and they may or may not have it shut off so that their server rules can take precedent over you doing it. Reminders. I personally like to see reminders, but I don't like to hear the sound. Other people like to hear the sound. You could go in and find another sound, but this is where I'm going to turn this off. Export information, Outlook information to a file for use in other programs. Well, what I like to use this for, I'm not going to go through the process, but it allows you to collect the information of your settings in Outlook. So say you're done with this account and you move to another company, but you like certain settings, you could then import those settings at a new job. I'm not getting into RSS feeds because I'm not adding any of those at this time, but let's take a look at set, send, and receive settings for incoming and outgoing items. Send immediately when connected. So sometimes you may be working offline. You could be at home and you don't have Wi-Fi and your cable is down, so you prepare a few emails, and then as soon as the Wi-Fi comes up, those emails will be sent automatically for you, but otherwise they will hold themselves in the to be sent folder or the outgoing folder. So that's what this means. Let's take a look at send and receive and see what we've got here. This is a collection of Outlook accounts and folders. Right now, I'm not going to mess with any of this. Again, this would be something that would be specific to the company. However, you could make certain modifications. If you don't want an automatic send and receive every 30 minutes, maybe you don't want to be interrupted with new messages coming more than every 60 minutes, you could change that to here. You could also perform an automatic send and receive when exiting the program. So say you got your program basically synced with the internet, it looked for anything new, and then 10 minutes later you're leaving the program. You could have this do this when you're getting ready to exit Outlook. If you do, it will slow your exiting a little bit. When Outlook is offline, schedule an automatic send and receive every 30 minutes. And the thing is, right now we don't have any thing to do, so I'm not going to worry about that one. Custom forms. I'm going to stay out of custom forms at this point, but I like to take a look and just go down and see what's necessary here. Again, these have been set up based on the defaults of the program. I'm not going to mess with any hardware graphics, and I'm not going to mess with any of this other stuff. But you can look at it on your own and compare it to information in your book to see what you would like to do. But other options I do want to look at. Let's take a look. We have customized the ribbon and customized the quick access toolbar. Now, I like to recommend that you almost never ever customize the ribbon. These are the ribbons. These are set up based on defaults that Microsoft creates based on, user testing and such. If at some point you become an Outlook power user and you really decide that there's some things that you never ever want to see up here, like you never want to see the reply all, you could, have these things removed from your ribbon. And at some point, if you decide you don't like what happened, you can go ahead and set things back to the default. I tend to never mess with the ribbons. I simply prefer to hide the ribbons and then put a few things on this little toolbar up here to help my life be a little bit faster. So for that would be the quick access toolbar. And right now I have send and receive all folders, and I have undo. Well, I tend to memorize a keystroke for undo, so I don't want to see that. But what I would like to be able to do is see my address book. I would like to be able to forward a message. I would like to be able to make a new appointment, a new contact, a new email, a new task. I'd like to be able to do a reply. And now these are all just in popular commands. When you go up here, you can see that there are commands that are not in the ribbons. You can see favorite commands from different ribbons that you've got here. So if I go to the Home tab, these are things that are all in the Home tab. And let's take a look and see what I might want to hear. I could decide I want to categorize things, so I'm going to grab that. I can go in and create rules. I want to have the delete. I'm not going to do too many of them. This should give you enough of an idea. Now the neat thing is you can put these in an order that you like. So for instance, I might need to see my address book before I send any new emails. So I might go up here and put the new emails. And then I might want to forward an email instead. I might want to create a rule for emails. So I'm going to put this up here. And I might want to reply to emails. So I'm going to put that before create rule, but after forward. Then I might want to create a new appointment, create a new contact, create a new task, be able to categorize any of them or delete any of them. Now this is what my little quick access toolbar looks like right now. If I go up here and I hate it, I can hit reset. If I like it, then I'll just hit OK. And now, see, I've got some lovely things up here. So now, if I decided I really don't want to see, I don't want to see this ribbon all the time, I could do some of my basic stuff up here without always having to go in. But if there's something I want to do that's not up here, and I know it happens to be part of my calendars, I can go into my calendars, I can go into view, and then I could set the month view. I will bet, because I love the month view, I'm going to go back over to File, Options, Quick Access Toolbar, choose commands from Calendar. Let's see, Calendar Table View. What I would like to do is, nope. Let's try Calendar tab here. And I would like to see if I could find monthly. Schedule view, show of people in... No, that's not what I want. There's work week, today, week. What I'd really rather see is monthly. Do we have month? There we go, month. So I'm going to put month over here for calendars. And I might also want to go up here and note that I want to set a new meeting. So this is a new appointment. New meeting is a little bit different. So I might go up here, and then I might go up and say I want this to be in month. So if it's somehow during the day, I can have that. Click OK. And then if I go back over here, this is my little toolbar. So anyway, those are just a few of the basic options I wanted to share with you. I hope it's helpful. Bye-bye.